Learning that Army Chief Bhupendra Dwivedi has made a big statement after this particular new patrolling agreement has been reached along the line of actual control with China. The statement of the Army Chief really says, and I am in fact quoting from that statement, as far as we are concerned, we want to go back to status quo of April 20.
Today has capability to carry X number of weapons, but the weapon that's again civil war, Army commanders objective 7.62 mm, 7.62 that
So, majorly, this is what the Army Chief has said, that India wants to go back to that position of pre-April 2020. That was the status quo between India and China along the line of actual control. And he also goes on to say that what India is trying to do is to restore trust. How will this be restored? That will be once we go ahead and see each other. That is, he's probably talking about that impending meeting of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the Premier of China, Xi Jinping. An important statement of the Army Chief right after we are getting news of this disengagement with the Chinese troops along the line of actual control, and also how new patrolling agreement has been reached upon by India and China. My colleague Akash Sharma is with us on the broadcast for more inputs on the story. Akash, that's a very important statement by the Army Chief, especially after this impending bilateral that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be having with Xi Jinping at the BRICS Summit.
Right. So you see, Griha, first of all, an important statement came yesterday, when the Foreign Secretary, in fact, mentioned it categorically that how, we have agreed upon, on patrolling points and how this will lead to the disengagement. We know that how after 2020 Galwan clash, we had several friction points between India and China on the line of actual control. And, among these points, 5 out of 7 points, in fact, were resolved and buffer zone strategy was in place. But as far as Depsang and Demchok are concerned, so these were the 2 points where we still had escalation and, in fact, engagement. But as of now, Army sources are in fact telling us that as far as this particular development is concerned, so both the sides have been working and in fact discussing on the patrol points. We have more than 5 patrol points on these locations and it has been worked upon. And now we are learning that on ground it will be implemented. Whatever has been decided, it will be implemented on ground. But this time, Army Chief is categorically saying that the Indian Army wants to go back to the 2020 position. We have some traditional points where Indian Army used to patrol, and this patrolling was blocked by Chinese troops. Similarly, when Chinese troops blocked our patrolling, our Jawans also, erected some sort of tents and structures and blocked their patrolling. So from both the sides, patrolling is not happening from last 4.5 years. And it is not about just Depang and Demchok. The issue is not limited to that, these 2 friction points. As far as the remaining points are concerned, where we had disengagement in the earlier years and where we have buffer zone strategy in place, there also we have several sort of conditions. So as of now, Army Chief is categorically saying that we want to go back to 2020 positions. Foreign Secretary did not mention about any sort of friction point. He did not, expand on as to, what is going to be the design of the disengagement or patrolling for that matter. But as of now, we are expecting some sort of announcement after the possible meeting between the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping. And, it is expected that on-ground design and implementation will come out very soon.
Right, Akash, stay with us. In fact, we were not able to play out that entire reaction of the Army Chief when he's speaking about this disengagement, especially at Demchok and Depsang, the friction points there along the line of actual control. Let's listen into what exactly he said.
So, as far as some statements have already been given out, so what does it mean? As far as we are concerned, we were looking at that we want to go back to the status quo of April 2020. Point number 1. Thereafter, we will be looking at disengagement, de-escalation, normal management of line of actual control. And this normal management of line actual control will not just stop there. There are phases in that also. So this what I am saying, it has been our stance from April 20 itself when General Y.K. Joshi was the Army Commander, and even today that remains the same way. So as of now, what has happened? We are trying to restore the trust. How the trust will get restored? It will get restored once we are able to see each other. And we are able to convince each other, look, The buffer zones which are there, which have been created, we are not creeping, and both have to reassure each other. Petroling gives you that kind of advantage. So that's what is something which is commencing, and as we restore the trust, the other stages will also follow through soon. I think this is the diplomatic.
Chief of Army Staff there, General Upendra Dwivedi, talking about how India and China are in fact trying to go to that entire level of de-escalation, and the only way to do that is to restore the trust with the two nations. An important statement right ahead of that impending bilateral between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese Premier Xi Jinping. We're going into a very short break with that.